Advance!
It was a moment of fear.
The whole thing is a damned lunatic affair.
A moment of courage.
I'm going to cross the river tomorrow with 2,000 men.
Be a little tighter together, that's it.
A moment that would define a nation.
How dare you! No, sir, how dare you!
I command this army, and if I decide to lead them into hell, they will follow me into hell.
Total wrap.
A&E Original Movies presents the true story of the night that helped change the course of American history. The Crossing, starring Academy Award nominee Jeff Daniels as General George Washington. In the coming minutes, we'll take you behind the scenes to see the making of this epic television event. The story of the crossing of the Delaware.
We know so much about the Civil War, but for whatever reason, the American Revolution, we just don't know very much about it. The Crossing is basically about the first battle in the American Revolution that actually turned the tide towards the formation of this country.
Come on! Come on!
It's about a man who drew a line in the sand and said, it's now or never. We've got to fight. We've got to stand here, or it's all over.
Less than 2,000 men, 18 guns, and we presume to fight against the most powerful nation on the face of the earth. In doing so, we have been smashed and smashed again. We have been flushed and chased and punished.
The British have written them off. As far as General Howe is concerned, the leader of the British forces, the revolution is over.
Always in retreat, on the defensive. They had not won a single battle.
Their clothing over the year became ragged and torn. They're cold, they're falling down sick every day.
Washington knew that his army had to attack for the first time ever.
Every one of you! You too! You will all suffer the consequences!
They were a makeshift army of farm boys. Outnumbered, outgunned, and out of time. Their revolution was all but over. But the general had one last idea.
I propose that on the eve of December 25th, we cross the river, march on Trenton, and attack the Hessians before dawn. And if God is with us, we'll take the whole lot of them.
He decides that on Christmas Day, the Hessians will have a great celebration. They have plenty of food, they will overeat, and he'll hit them at night when they're asleep.
Regardless of the time, regardless of what happens, we cross and march on Trenton. No discussions, no arguments. We cross and attack.
For Jeff Daniels, the challenge was daunting. How do you turn a statue into flesh and blood?
There are so many people who think they know him. So in a way, I mean, it's one thing to have critics review your performance in a movie, but when you have a nation full of critics who think they know him off the dollar bill, there's more pressure.
Jeff Daniels, who plays Washington, he was Washington in feature, in appearance, in every fiber of his being.
He's 6'3", Washington was 6'4", he's 44 years old. George Washington was 44 years old when this happened. And it just came together in a certain way that we felt the more we talked to him, the more we saw him, the more he got involved with it. Perfect casting.
Glover, I'd like to cross the river.
With what, sir? Do we swim the damn river?
Glover, I'd like to cross the river. There are people who've written books about him that I admire, having read the books, and you hope that when they see this, they go, yes, he got it.
As wearisome as these endless pleas become, I beseech the Congress to understand our condition.
He would constantly write to Congress, try to get a message to Congress to send more money for the troops, to send more men, to send more this to that, and they wouldn't do it. He was alone. So when it really got tough, when the odds were so against him, I cannot believe that Washington kept on going.
The essence of Washington was his ability to endure.
Keep them moving, Nathaniel. We cannot stop.
Day after day, he soldiered on horseback. And for Daniels, one of the hardest tasks was simply learning to ride.
They said, you know, Washington was an expert horseman. And I said, yeah, oh, was he? Good. And they said, can you ride? And of course, I gave the actor's response, which is, you know, of course, absolutely. Teach me how to ride. I had like 3 weeks to get good. Thomas Jefferson called George Washington the best horseman in the state of Virginia. I mean, the guy like would ride a horse up a tree. I mean, it was just, so I have to fake it.
Jeff Daniels is an astute learner, and actually when he got the part, he found somebody down where he lives, and he went there every day, and they did a really good job of working with him. So when he came up to us, we told him the things that he needed for the films, and he gets out here every day and he works on his craft, and you know, we're proud of him, so that makes our job a lot easier.
This way, men! To the meadow! Forward! Forward!
We have a good stunt guy that's able to do the real tricky stuff, but I've done most of it, and the Wranglers have said, you may just win the prize as the last actor to get thrown from his horse.
You, sir, are a damned poor leader. You can't face defeat, and so you seek annihilation.
As a general, Washington's made mistakes. He was beaten, and he was constantly retreating, and people died based on decisions he made, and he was not considered the best commander-in-chief. He said he didn't want it, and yet when he went to the Second Continental Congress, when they were deciding, you know, who was going to run it, he was the only guy who showed up in his military uniform, and it was basically, you know, saying he wanted the gig.
They made me commander-in-chief of a great army. Now I am commander-in-chief of those who remain. I've lost every chance and failed at every effort. But so help me God, if I must ride into Trenton alone, I will do so.
I suppose in one sense, this film is about trying to debunk the Washington myth. People think of George as the guy on the dollar, or the guy in the funny wigs. Well, George didn't actually wear wigs, and Jeff doesn't wear a wig in this movie.
When you look at the dollar bill, he's this very stoic kind of, you know, presidential figure. He had a volcanic temper. He had these incredible mood swings. He was very ambitious and yet yearned to live a private life. He was just full of contradictions. He really was.
He loved liquor.
God be praised.
He loved gambling. He adored women, but I don't think he had any motivations beyond winning the war. This was his crusade.
For Howard Fast, award-winning author, the challenge was to throw out the old history books and bring a man and an era to life.
Howard has written 84 novels. He's written The Battle of Valley Forge. He's written Washington the President, and many other books, including Spartacus.
Find General Lee and his army, William, tonight. Otherwise, we are finished.
I think Howard Fast's screenplay really brings out a three-dimensional figure, and certainly it represents all those biographies I had to pour through.
I tried not to give in to the customary devices of Hollywood. It's a script without a love story. It's a script that is almost entirely male. I don't think we have to apologize for that. These were the facts of what happened.
There's no man on Earth who can carry that army across in 6 hours. So you will be coming to Trenton in daylight, providing we can cross that damn river at all.
You have been a thorn in my side since the day we met.
I play Colonel John Glover, who's a tough SOB.
Move lively over there! Move lively!
He tries to dissuade Washington from doing this folly. I mean, to him, it's folly to cross the Delaware. It's an impossible mission, but he'll do it for Washington.
You will take my army across the river, and you will do it tonight.
I'll carry our army across the river. God help me, I don't know how, but I'll do it.
To recreate 18th century America, the filmmakers needed a wide range of authentic period features. From the makeup to the muskets, the details had to be right.
You've got men in boats, you've got men on horseback, you've got cannon, you've got hundreds of extras. You've got this ragtag army who have to look suitably scruffy and dirty, and then you've got this fabulous, spiffy bunch of Hessians who have to look magnificently and completely historically accurate.
2 entire armies needed to be clothed and outfitted.
We shoot in various locations, so the trick is to get the right number of costumes on different bodies every single day. We have access to some extremely good rental shops, and they provided the bulk of the uniforms, upwards of about 500 complete outfits. Everything from shoes to hose to handkerchiefs to hats. But the only thing we actually built, which is unusual for a film, is George Washington's complete uniform. Everything from his hat to his boots was custom made for Mr. Daniels. The materials are frankly quite expensive, but they're also extremely hard wearing. I mean, some of this stuff people would wear for years. Our tailor had access to this authentic fabric, access to the old authentic patterns. It's gone a long way to helping us to create the illusion of George Washington.
You can have men moving past him to get into line. I think we should.
A team of military consultants was on set to ensure that every battle went by the book.
We studied the various drill manuals in order to understand their posture, how they would carry their firearm, the orders that you would hear to move men. It can't look like the Civil War. It can't look like World War I. It has to be placed in the 18th century.
The vast majority of Washington's army was equipped with a common musket. To fire the weapon, the soldier would open the pan, take out a cartridge. They had the gunpowder and the bullet already in them. They were pre-made. He would bite open the cartridge, pour a little bit of gunpowder into the pan, pour the rest of the gunpowder down the barrel, and he would insert the paper and the bullet in. He would ram home the cartridge with the ramrod, bring the musket to the full cock position, and fire. In bad conditions, for example, rain, sleet, etc., the gunpowder would become wet, the weapon wouldn't fire. The 18-inch steel bayonet, however, worked all the time.
Ready, and... Is it good?
Okay, cut.
Yeah.
How can 2 armies simply disappear?
For Washington's men, it was a desperate time. They needed a victory.
Surrender. This revolution is over.
But the road to Trenton would be paved with blood.
Think about how these men went into battle. This is a small army trying to sneak up on Trenton. They've been all night in a raging snowstorm and rain. They couldn't go in with guns. They had to go in with fixed bayonets. It was going to be violent.
Oh yeah, get the blood.
We're making a movie, so give it the effect. I know at least this much in this fellow here.
We had to be shooting a lot of action sequences with a lot of men and a lot of foreground action going on at the same time. These are very complicated sequences to set up. So you're not only dealing with a lot of different elements and trying to get accuracy, but you're trying to ensure that, in fact, you are making a successful action movie that's telling a vital story.
Most stunt guys are past athletes. They did something. So mine was gymnastics. A lot of guys come from fighting backgrounds. Some of them are car racers or motorcycle racers, those types of things. Well, in our business, a lot of it, you don't get to practice too often. So the good stuntmen sort of have a natural knack for it, and the bad ones get hurt.
And action!
For the stunt coordinators, the biggest challenge was choreographing the battle sequences.
Go, Junior!
Turning a few lines of script into all-out war.
Air rams are basically used for multiple things, but one primary thing it's used for is explosions.
You know, it's kind of like, you know, boys with toys.
Okay, that's fine. Let's just clean off the rams, get rock loaded up. And go again. And go again.
A little more,
Dust?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You ate a lot of dirt. What we do is we dramatize everything. We make it bigger and better so the audience loves it. We set an explosion. We set the air ram just in front of it or beside it, and we have the explosion go off as the man steps on the air ram, and it actually catapults the man through the air to look like the explosion throws him through the air. So the concussion of the explosion throws him through the air. Yeah. When this airs, or if the audience believes it, then I've done my job.
And cut it. Yeah, pretty damn good, guys. Woo! Everyone okay? Guys, you all right?
My men are not soldiers. They are lads. They have put their trust in me. They could have deserted. Thousands have, but these lads have not. They remain with me. And I command this army, and if I, a bumbling Virginia farmer, should decide to lead them into hell, they will follow me into hell.
You ready for this?
Yeah. You?
Yeah.
The men of the Revolution believed in a cause, but risked their lives for a leader they loved.
The whole thing is a damned lunatic affair. But if you're determined to ride into hell, I'll go along.
His men followed him because they knew that he was about something, that he was about an ideal, he was about a way to live.
All these boys that would follow me. Why did they do it? I suppose they trust you. And love you.
Washington realizes at this point that his endeavor is doomed. And I felt that at that moment, he felt he was going to his death.
But I think Washington had a life wish. I think Washington believed so profoundly in what he and his men were fighting for. And his men knew that they were willing to follow him into hell.
Okay, so pictures up, everybody.
I hope when people see this, it spurs them to ask questions or to find out more, not only about Washington, but also about the origin of this country. I hope when they look at Washington that they see more than just a face on a dollar bill, that they understand that there's a human being behind the statue.
The army will advance! Stay with your officers, men!
There are moments when you can feel what maybe it might have felt like. I mean, it's a rush.
This was a defining moment. This moment of the crossing.
I think it's really important to think about where we came from, to think about the bravery, the extraordinary courage of the men that made this country.
I'll never look at this country the same way again.
Ready, quiet please, and roll them.
A&E presents an epic television event.
I'd like to cross the river.
The night that turned the tide of the American Revolution.
We will march south to attack Trenton.
The real-life adventure of one man.
If I do not cross tomorrow, there will be no army.
One moment.
Time, Alex. What is the time?
One last chance to save a newborn nation.
I bid you all Godspeed and